Okay guys, just want to do a quick video here and show you my technique for making the Mudtrooper jacket. I've actually started off with a very dark gray jacket here. It's almost black, but it is gray. And I've got some different paints. One of them is a camouflage brown, to kind of give us some dust. I've also got a little bit of that camo green. I'll just add a little green hint into it. Again, it's just kind of, we're trying to make dirt. But the magic stuff is actually this. Let's see if I can get it. This is a coarse texture white onyx stone. It's like a flex paint. And what you'll see is that it comes out kind of in big clumps. Get yourself a paintbrush. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some of the light brown and just kind of, I'm dusting areas, and this is dust that's coming out. So this is kind of over the whole costume, a little bit of that green mixed in. What we're trying to do here is kind of get some different tones going. Now here's the magic, is this stuff. One thing when you look at the troopers, the mud troopers, a lot of them seem to have this gray mud. So this is what we're going to use for that mud. So what I'm basically going to do is we're just going to kind of hit it like that. That gives some specks. And then I'm going to take the brush in areas where the guy's moving his hands across it, where he's trying to brush off the mud. That's we're gonna have to kind of smear that around. Other areas I'm just gonna kind of let it kind of flake up into, so they're like splashes, particularly up in the upper area. Right down here in the sleeves, he stuck his hand down in the mud as he was crawling. You know, as you're doing this, I kind of think of what happened. How did he get this particular stuff? Elbows, man, elbows. Big spot. Okay, again, I come in here in the brush and I'm grinding that in an area because he put his elbow down in it. And I don't want to just spread to go nice and neat. I want to kind of move it around so I get that, it looks like he's moved it around in the mud. Again, this hand, we're also put it down in mud. Bottom, I'm going to kind of scrunch that up. We'll let it kind of flake up as it goes up because it's splashed up toward the top. In a moment here, I'll kind of show you what the end result is. Along the bottom here, we've got a lot, and it's blotchy. So I'm going to kind of make some blotches there. And there's nothing on this brush. This is just a dry brush. By the way, this particular jacket is one that I got over at Goodwill, $4. This was just a dress jacket. Then I went in and kind of made some modifications to it, to the sleeves and whatnot, to make it look more authentic. This is not probably CRL passable. I don't know what to wait to see how the CRL comes out. I actually am working on a authentic jacket that we're going to try to match as closely as we can to what will probably end up being the CRL. But in the meantime, I've got a con coming up, and I really would like to go is the Mudtrooper. And I've got everything else except for this jacket. So we're going to do it this way, and it's also kind of a test for me to play around with the dirtying technique and see if I can get it down. Okay, now I'm going to flip this over. Let's shake some of the dust off. Excuse me. And this is the back. See, it's, again, the same type of technique. I'm going to use this light brown. And we're going to spray some of that on here. Again, you kind of want to keep it moving around, and you want to shoot, shoot, shoot. Don't spray like you're making graffiti, because that's not the way nature is. It's just kind of a dusting. And it's how it fell on the jacket when it came a little bit more up on the shoulders, where it settled down. A little bit of that green in there. Now I come back with my stone. Give it a good spray. You don't want to spray too big of an area at one time, because the stuff does dry, and we want to kind of work it. You know what happened? Okay, he's scooting along on his butt here. So this is really muddy. Again, I'm mixing it up. I don't want it to look like I just spray painted it. I want it to look like it's been scuffed and run around in the mud. If you spend too much time thinking about this, it's going to look manufactured. You want this to kind of look like it just happened. You got in a mess. So down here at the lower area, we've got it more kind of smeared around. Up at the top, it's more just kind of little flecks and dusting. Because he's down in the mud, the stuff that's coming up is more just spray. It's splatter coming up. Okay, let me give you take the camera off here and give it a closer look. You can see how it starts looking here. Yep, see, when I flipped it over, I got a spot there, so I'm gonna want to come back and kind of hit that up a little bit. My sleeves. See, it's got to kind of, if you remember, just to give you an idea, that's what it looked like before I started. This is what it looks like now. So, though I started with an almost black costume, with adding the dust and the dirt and everything else into it, I've now got something that's much more gray. And I'm pretty sure that that's kind of what we're looking at here, as well as, like I said, I've added in just a little touch of that green in here, which helps, again, look like it's been outside. And the camo brown as well. And I'll tell you what, it's looking pretty good. Now, the other thing you might also do, besides having just a dry brush, is you might also try like a sponge. Those usually work pretty good too. I'm not talking like the sponges that you get at the grocery store. I'm talking like an actual natural sponge where it's got more of a pattern to it that's random, because that's what we're looking for, is kind of those natural random patterns. So there's how I am mudding up my costume. Hope this gave you some ideas, and see where you guys come up with. Comment, share, and let's see what we can do. Mud life, guys.